You know, so it's like, and this is why, like, obviously it's very good that you brought in the District 9 conferences, that films like these, they should be respected and they should be understood why they're classics. In 10 years' time, District 9 will be forgotten.
Will be forgotten like a lead
because
balloon.
time is the harshest critic, and I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to get into it, but I just have to say, in 10 years' time, Dark Knight will be for forgotten. Time is the harshest critic. Escape from New York. This is 1981.
In 10 years' time, guys are still going to be watching Star Wars. They're going to be watching Escape from New York. They're going to be watching Matrix 1.
Yeah.
They're going to be watching
Terminator.
Forgot it. Terminator was selected as a national treasure. It's basically, if aliens invade, they have to preserve it. They have a copy of Terminator they have to preserve.
Mm.
Okay, and that's no joke. It's true. I actually read about it.
No. I know.
Yes, like, people aren't stupid. People aren't stupid. And at the end of the day, we live in a society which has got zero credibility. This has been the crappiest decade ever.
Oh no! It's a bit.
We're coming to the end of this decade. This decade has been crap.
The best things to come out of this decade are two things, I'd say: Gladiator, which came at the very beginning of the decade, and 24.
And a massive thing that you also have to look at when you look at a decade, you look at the music. You look at, this is the first decade that has no soundtrack. Like there's been no music per se. Hip hop explosion happened at the beginning, but then but an equally strong explosion happened around mid, which was coming.
Yeah, because it's true. Like, what's it called? 80s, you had disco, the whole Michael Jackson thing. 90s, you had like dance music, and then you had like rap coming in.
No, I didn't even like mid 90s, early 90s was. I mean, that was grunge, and
grunge as well. Yeah,
Guns N' Roses were getting big. Then obviously 70s, we know about 70s, whatever you call it, soul and everything.
Shake it up.
we know about 60s, Beatles and all that kind of. We go 50s. You keep going back. You go to this society now. Okay, you got a situation now in this current state where you go, okay, Coldplay
killers.
Put it this way. You're going to compare Coldplay, you're going to compare Killers to Guns N' Roses, let's say, or Queen or Guns N' Roses. I mean, guys, give me a break. I mean, the concept of celebrity or the concept of a pop star doesn't change. You're in a very mocked up society where your biggest pop stars or rock stars is Coldplay. Coldplay is like a slightly more excited version of Radiohead. What the hell are they doing as like, the big... I mean, look, this is a roundabout way of saying, guys, that society's appreciation of art is very messed up, which has happened this decade. It's very messed up. And because of that messed up way, too many individuals are given too much importance. You see, back in the day, it's almost like the studios were like parenting people. So they give you what you're going to get.
They understood that we are in a field which is the field of the arts. And therefore there are rules of being in this field of the arts where, yes, we are businessmen, but if we're in the field of the arts, we can only be businessmen up to a degree. But if we hire a man, he has to give us what, and we must live and die by what this guy gives us because we have chosen him. And he's an artist.
No, to be honest, they've always been at odds with that because that's what happened with Superman. It's like, the second they thought they could control him, they kick him out.
Yeah.
Like that. People want to make money, but things like you're living in a society where back then people will not accept because the world was so serious. You see, now you've got the war in Iraq is happening decades away. It's like it's somewhere in Afghanistan or it's somewhere else. But let's say in the 60s, whatever you call it, Vietnam, brothers were getting drafted left, right, and center. Mm-hmm. Guys were running away because they didn't want to get... So it was very real. Any guy you're seeing, okay, basically in the 60s, Calder or any of these guys, tomorrow you could get drafted. It could be anybody. I don't know how old you guys are, but anybody. So even in our homes now, we have the reality of war at home. So, and society society has to be smacked in the face to wake up. Only when things are bad, things are really hellish, things are really tough, that's when you get quality life. People appreciate life more. You get quality art. The best art in it has always been created in times of
Hardship.
duress. And because this has been the most comfortable period,
iPods, Xbox
the most
360s,
the most comfortable
computers,
period in history,
ignorance.
it is like the creative field is dead.
Oh no, it's dead.
There's no music.
Like I think like also it's like there is no kind of motivation for somebody to really put their guts, spill their guts to create something amazing. Like for a guy like James Cameron, I feel sorry for a guy like James Cameron because like you're putting your guts and everything into this Avatar thing, but for who? For what? I mean, because it's the wrong time zone to have the psychology of working hard, changing the game. Because
no, I think
Spider-Man 2 was amazing. Apparently,
double it really. I think today, which Nolan has shown, is that it's for the taking. The only mistake I think Cameron has made is that he's made a bad creative decision. But now is the time than any. Like look at District 9. People are like lambs just looking to be led.
yeah.
Like Hollywood, I'm telling you guys, and you guys remember who said this first. All we need to do is put 50 mil in the lap of Mel Gibson. And all the same guys who are mourning and insulting him and saying, "Oh, Caviezel is too old. What's Mel Gibson? Let's get."
I think we have to like get back onto the escape thing.
But this is all about escape.
Okay.
Like at the end of the day, we got here by saying that what is escape? John
One
Carpenter.
studios,
What
one
makes
man.
escape escape? What makes escape
Man's
escape
vision, yeah.
is a man's vision, compounded with the state of the world when it came out, mixed with what people are willing to accept, mixed with the talent. Look at the talent, and the talent comes from the society. Like people underestimate, as Double H has said, the hard work that our friend Kurt put in to create this snake character.
No, it's true. Because I think like watching this film again, I think I began to appreciate how much this film was an influence, even on me personally, and even everything. Because before, like, while watching it recently, I was like, man, like, if when we just think of a story of the future or anything, it's always dark, very creepy. Everything is messed up. You know, it's like a society of decadence, all that stuff. That whole psychology came from this film. This was the first film to give you that dark future, you know, and the world that Carpenter created.
Blade Runner come on.
Blade Runner came on. Let's check. Yeah, this was before Rambo, like a year before Rambo.
Yeah, because I think that in terms of the gritty future, I think maybe we're looking at Blade Runner, to be honest.
82.
Yeah, I think.
And then this is 81.
81. Because I mean, like, while this obviously has that dark feeling, I think a lot of people. I mean, like I said, that the movie that really made that gritty future, like, you know.
Oh no, I think I think Blade Runner, it took really to the nth degree, but this was the first to introduce it.
You know, this might be. I think what this, I believe, according to what you said, what this did quintessentially do is stamp the anti-hero.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Solid Snake. I mean, for God's sake, Solid Snake. I mean, no, all these characters. Snake Plissken was the quintessence. And I think that you always think that, oh, it's cheesy, so cheesy. That clip you just played now. Sorry, guys. Obviously, you guys had no visuals on that scene. But if we could have delivered visuals to you, the quality with which Kurt played that scene,
delivering the lines, the
timing
the
of
body,
the timing of the delivery, the body language, everything was bloody off the hook.
And this one, he created, like, there was nothing that came before this for him to do this.
You get some guy now in here, he'll be like, yeah, Trump snake, you know, they'll bring some crap to it. You know, they'll bring their crap. Which is what guys don't get.
This Jared Butler. For women.
300, all the guy, that's what's like, look, you know what? That's why everybody's going so wild and wacky about Josh Brolin, because he's the only guy in today's world who's doing close to what Kurt Russell was doing in No Country.
Oh, yeah.
But remember that Josh Brolin, he's an outsider.
Goonies is from
He's
Goonies.
from Goonies. I mean, this guy, he hasn't even existed since Goonies.